Yeah, they're really expensive.
$1,200 for that, and then you gotta buy like $800 skis, and you gotta pay for that the season pass every year, and you gotta buy, when you're there you get food, and it's like $20 a plate, and yeah, and you gotta buy, you know, boots, and you gotta get goggles and a helmet, and
There's not like a fucking Mormon discount or some shit you just claim.
I know I should just be like, hey, I'm Mormon, I should get a discount. So.
Yeah, just
That
wear
probably works.
your white button down with the tie under your fucking snow shit.
Just
I
don't
would
let them
like
see your
one
underwear.
season pass with the Mormon discount, please. And they're like, all right, it'll be 1150 instead of 1200.
Nice, $50.
No, they're like 1201.
Yeah, right. Yeah, 1201. That's gonna be your tithing actually, because they all straight up take like, so like growing up in Baptist church, they had tithing, right, and it's supposed to be 10% of your check. Mormons
Right.
straight up like, as soon as their check comes in, 10% of it goes to the church.
Yeah, they bully you into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like my ex's family. Like they were like that. Like I remember when she got like a bonus or some shit, they'd be like, "Don't forget 10%." I was like, "What the fuck?"
Hell no. Yeah, at least like in Baptist, there's like it's supposed to be 10%, but just give what you feel like you can. It's like, all right,
Fuck
here's
Because
a,
I
here's a
yeah.
just
dollar.
yeah, so I'm gonna say I get flashbacks growing up in the Catholic church when the fucking thing gets passed around. We just put like $1 in there or something.
hmm
Like, good enough.
Put something.
Yep.
What's up?
Good something.
Well, and the Mormon Church was just busted for like it was like I don't know how much money it was. It was some astronomical amount that they've been like hiding in some fake account somewhere or something.
Hell yeah.
Merc.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
they hid $32 billion stock portfolios inside 5 shell companies.
Hell yeah.
And they got penalized $4 million for that.
Yeah, don't
Fuckers.
tax the church, y'all.
Tax the church.
Eat the rich.
The government should be like, you should donate 10% of your church funds to the government.
Fuck more than that.
Yeah, they make a lot of money with that shit.
Fuck yeah, they all have fucking nice ass suits, fucking rings, fucking shoes, dresses.
Mansion.
Those are the
Yep.
fucking
Cars.
dude. Those are like poor ass like high school kids. What are you talking about? The ones that just wear the shirts and go door to door.
I'm talking about
Compared
like
to
the
the
people you
priest,
see. Yeah, I'm talking about
like
the
the
mega
one in Houston,
churches.
like the mega church in Houston.
Oh
like
Yeah.
that
yeah,
dude.
Joel Osteen.
Why, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that dude.
Who wouldn't
Crazy
even
ass
open the
house.
church during Hurricane Harvey whenever everyone was like
Yeah.
displaced from their homes.
Yep.
I think we have everyone.
I have a question.
Ooh, let me stop the music.
This might have been something I missed when I was out 2 sessions ago, and
Mhm.
no problem, just an honest question. Are we no longer switching to Pathfinder? Is it like decided?
Yes, I think
Okay.
that for at least this session, or not this session, for this campaign, and for the record, you did not miss it. I don't think it was ever clearly stated. At least for right now, it doesn't seem worth the work to do it.
Fair enough.
I think I told some other people this, but after y'all's campaign, after this, I do not plan on ever DMing for a D&D
What?
campaign again.
Pathfinder only?
Pathfinder only. So there, I am completely open to Pathfinder. I guess to say I want to do Pathfinder. I feel like we're too deep now to justify switching. I think it's gonna be a lot of work to do it. But I am entirely open to it, either as something different, like one shots on the side, whatever might earth. Because if there are people that still like want to try it and it not take up this 2 hour block, like on random weekend or whatever, totally down. I think it'd be a lot of fun. But at least for this core campaign, I think that to give it like the send out that it probably deserves, I don't want it to be tarred by it slowing down because we have to go over like all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, lame.
Yeah.
Doing that
Yeah, I
little
mean, it's a little disappointing.
playthrough that one night
I don't. Yeah.
with Waco,
Yeah.
Kyle, and I definitely highlighted that. It's,
Yeah.
And-
That's my that was my deal too. Yeah, the whole idea that we yeah, it's
we
it's
were like level
monumental
4,
ending. We're
and
we're
then
getting
we were,
really good. Yeah, that 4 was even a struggle. So imagine level 14 or 17 or 16, whatever we're ending this on. It's just gonna be too much to. I don't know. I feel like it's too much.
No.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So like I said, if anyone wants to try and do Pathfinder things, kind of like we did on that one night, where we just like ran combat or whatever, I'm very down for it. I would love to start learning the system and to start kind of digging into it. I just don't want to take up. I just don't want it to take up this block.
I guess.
And I guess like not for the record or not to justify or anything, but my other group decided the exact same thing. So kind of across the board, it came up. I wish 4 years ago, I would have discovered Pathfinder instead. But the nice thing is that D&D works fine. It's not as though we're not enjoying it, you know.
It's a great intro
So-
for sure.
Yeah, so I'm pretty comfortable
Yeah, we
continuing and
know the
finishing in it.
mechanics.
But
For sure,
yeah,
at this
definitely won't be doing it again now that I've seen the light.
Hey, David, I got a question.
Mhm.
Which group do you enjoy DMing more for?
Oh man.
Oh, sweet Manny.
It's so hard to
okay.
okay. Group.
anyways, we're gonna go ahead and start tonight.
So
Be honest, David.
it's like asking your favorite kid, Manny. Every group
exactly.
has something special about them.
Have you listened
love
to
you all
any of
both,
the other
and
groups'
I need
play
to quit.
sessions, Manny?
Have I?
Yeah, I'm asking.
No, I'm curious. I'm curious how boring it is over there.
I've watched one. They have some good chemistry over there. I am not gonna
What?
lie. It is super obvious he loves DM in that group, and I don't fault him 1 minute.
What group
Damn.
did you listen to?
I don't remember, but they were in the manner we had already played through.
Okay, that would be okay. So to be fair, those
No.
are my cousins that I'm super close to.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yes, it's a very different vibe. I will definitely say they are not good at D&D.
Yeah, they look like you're having a lot of fun though.
They have a ton of fun. I mean, a couple of them have no idea what's going on. I mean,
That's so funny.
they don't even know what a subclass is.
They
but,
have no idea what's going on.
It's all being
they are
recorded
lost.
too. Hell yeah.
I mean, and they've definitely gotten better, but like, I mean, they're nowhere near the like combat is a far cry. But yeah, they are remarkably balls to the walls in all of their decisions. So it's just a very different experience. Like for the Mulberry Manor, I ran them through the exact same thing. They cornered not John Aaron. They cornered Dean Mulberry in a room, killed him,
Yep.
like disposed of the body, and then tried to take the manor over themselves. Like it's just like
It was pretty funny.
it's craziness. It's craziness. So it's just different, Manny. You know,
What's their group name?
the Wolfribees because it's a mix of all of our last names.
That is disgusting.
but
Disgusting.
but like I could
That sounds
never.
like fucking AIDS. That sounds like a new term of fucking AIDS.
Manny! But like I could never run them through like a political city setting like I can with y'all. Like they would just not that they would get bored. They would do it for me, but it's just not
Dude,
the way they roll.
I think I caught
We're the best, got it.
rabies.
Rabies.
I think I caught the rabies.
But yes, they do.
For once a
they
week
do
for
have
2 hours, I feel ill.
Jesus. Does that answer your question, Manny?
Yeah, we're the best. Thank
yes. Yes.
It's not what I heard.
Earlier, was that foreshadowing of Malnova Chapter 2?
It certainly could be. I mean, the nice thing about having a world, and I think I've talked to both Jacob, maybe Andrew and Waco about it. I can't remember. Definitely Jacob. But the nice thing about having a world built is that the story doesn't end with y'all, right?
Yeah.
There's so many things that can be dug into, and for a short amount of times. Like it doesn't have to be. And honestly, more seriously speaking, I'll probably never do a campaign like y'all's again, just because I mean this is magic in a bottle.
Yeah.
But to do like shorter things like the Lost City that we did, that to me is like a perfect length, and it kind of wraps up a little bit,
Yes.
and it's done, you know.
So fun.
And so there are so many awesome like location stories to be told in Malnova that are like that length, you know.
Yeah, I'd be down
Hell
for just a
yeah.
bunch of vignettes like that.
Yeah, and so
Ridiculous
that's
as what?
at least for my DMing career, that's probably what the future holds. I'll probably wrap up y'all's campaign, and the future will be those style stories. And truthfully, the other nice thing about those is that I don't necessarily even have to DM them. The world is built, and it's our world that we've all built. And so I feel no possession to Malnova. I'm so happy just saying, Waco, do you want to DM a 3-month thing? Like pick a place in Malnova or Raptua or anywhere really, and tell a story with
Yeah.
what you see in that region or whatever.
Dude,
Or Jacob or anyone. I mean, it's
Aaronvale would have been a really cool short campaign, like where you flesh it out a little more and you go to all the different towns, you know?
and it's funny you say that because with my other 2 campaigns, that was actually their level 1 location, and they did go to all the places.
Yeah.
So y'all's got cut a little short, but easily it could be I run you through what y'all didn't get to see, kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
And that
David,
got them up to like level 5, I think.
David, I want another 2-year campaign of a pie eating contest that travels Malnova.
See, there it is.
That's it.
There
That's
it is.
Yeah.
Town to town pie eating contest. It's becoming the champion of Malnova pie eating.
Yeah,
Yeah, and there's like a huge procession and a parade and all kinds of stuff.
And at one point, we go to Raptua for the international competition.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
That's right, dude. And it's like
International.
Iceland. It's like Iceland from D2 shows up. You know.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, definitely see Aslos
Dude.
popping up on one of those.
Yeah,
Christ.
These
but yeah,
lizards
so
ain't got
that that's at least how I see it moving forward with those kind of smaller stories. And that doesn't even have to be smaller stories, just shorter probably in Pathfinder, somewhere in Malnova.
Yeah, same as a player, right? I don't want to sign up for a 2-year campaign
Well,
anymore.
Yeah,
not even,
and I
not
think
even
we're
just Malnova. Somewhere
Maybe when we're like 40,
For sure.
in our 40s.
What'd you
maybe,
name your
know,
world,
visit.
David?
I think honestly, and it needs to be renamed. It's begging. I think I named it Techno because we're at Tech Systems. Like
Oh god.
like I think
Terrible.
Malnova, I was so
Rookie
proud
mistake.
of, and I think one of y'all asked me like, "What's the world called?" I was like, "I don't know, Tech." Nah, I have no idea. So maybe that's something. Maybe we can
That's
come
not the
up.
worst name, to be honest.
It's not horrible. It's just kind of funny.
The meaning behind
But
it.
yeah, and I think we're all at the point of players, DMs, like we're at that point in life where we've done the big campaign, and it's exhausting, not in a bad way, but I mean it's a lot.
Dude, we've played this campaign longer than I worked at Tech Systems.
Yeah, I mean it
I moved
is
to
a
Utah.
lot. So I fully understand that none of y'all want to sign up for that again. I don't necessarily want to. I mean it's awesome, but I'm looking forward to the shorter close up and wrap them up kind of stories like the Lost
Yeah,
City.
new
That to me is like
new character.
yeah,
To Utah,
exactly.
and
Like,
I've been here for working on my 2nd year now. We're still playing.
yeah,
So.
it's and that's the other thing too with D&D, and I think it's one of the funnier tragedies of the game is that as you play more, you get to see all the other cool shit like in your like classes, subclasses, all that, but you're locked to this character so you don't get to play them, which is kind of funny to me.
Yeah.
Which is why those shorter things, yeah, like you might want to be like, I really just want to play a wizard for a little bit, and then I want to play a rogue, and then I want to play a warlock, or I want to do custom class, or whatever, you know?
Yes.
And so that also really helps with that, I think. And you get to do a lot more reckless stuff because if your character dies, like it's not, you didn't lose 3 years. You lost a lot. So yeah, I think it would be a
Yeah,
good thing
we could
moving
even
forward.
run like a super hard, like high difficulty campaign, knowing that we're all gonna probably lose a character or two. Like,
Yeah, I mean you can
Yeah.
run a team
Crash
of
and
annihilation.
Game of
shit.
go to
Thrones style.
like hell and fight demons for the whole campaign. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Find Oliver, bring him back to the plane of existence. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you
And
can
then
do
kill
some
him again?
Planescape stuff, like planes. That's what one of my other groups is doing. Is it's all Planescape, and I mean that stuff is it's wild, but it's fun. And that y'all haven't really gotten a chance to do. But that's something we could talk about for hours. But yeah, that's at least the Pathfinder thing. We will do it, just not now.
I'd like a chance to retry Waco's 1-shot, 3-shot. That's still never finished.
That
Yeah.
would be kind of fun.
There's still a couple shots left on that. For sure.
Well, let's go ahead and get a recap going. So, what happened to y'all last time?
We went to that house, the fun house.
The fun
I need a little more, Manny. What?
No,
what-
man, he
what-
wasn't here last week.
Oh,
No, there were scrolls.
No,
Fucking Jen
Manny,
bought like
we
20.
started off with Goatzel just left our place or something, and Manny, you're on your like tree that's like 2 feet tall or whatever.
And we have an
Yeah.
inkling that he owes someone money now, not just that he needs money for the museum.
Yeah, that makes
Um,
sense because he wanted 30,000 gold for that shit.
Yeah, and then we were going to the Wolf Clan house, and so we took the minecart, and we stopped by some store, the Spell Scroll store, and the guy who was manning it was a rude guy on the train who sat next to me.
Archmage
a feather.
Funhouse.
He wanted a feather.
And then, me, Aslos, and tagged along with Jar Yu on one of his like Worm Clan missions or whatever. And we are. He said we are his apprentices, and that's what I'm gonna roll with.
Ikidos was kind of jealous that he didn't partake in kind of a bit like that.
Oh yeah.
Was I? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end. Yeah, when
You're
we all
like,
met
damn,
back
I
up.
went to the Underdark
Oh,
with him
yeah,
and
yeah.
talked about death,
I remember.
afterlife.
It's gaslighting that. And then, Yokizos and Derna went to the Arcane College to go investigate Grot's disappearance. Found out that
not the Raven Clan house. That was a big deal
Yeah.
for me.
And the Archmage is kind of a douche nozzle, but he gave us some information that Grot went to go find mushrooms, and then our haste to leave, we did notice right before we left that there was a mushroom growing in the corner, and when I picked it up, it crumbled within 20 seconds in my hand into black dust, and so we're trying to figure out what's going on with that.
Yeah, the Archmage went and got the his mycologist. Was that it?
Oh, the
Botanist.
mushroom guy.
Yeah, the mushroom guy, and he's gonna take care of that. And then we went to the met up and went to the Wolf Clan house.
And then the
Yes.
Wolf
And
Clan
what happened
house,
at the Wolf Clan house?
he was very straightforward, and look, we just don't want to go to war because our people are the ones that'll die. But if you want to gain our support, then we basically have to go find a meteorite for them and bring it back so they can make weapons with it.
With the
Right.
Boar clan.
Yeah, the Boar was somehow involved with it or something.
Yeah,
They
that's
asked
to
the
help
Boar
them?
clan to go find it, and they refused to go get it. So
Hmm.
they probably know where it's at, but they didn't go get it.
They also
And
said
didn't he
that-
have a
Okay.
map of the Undermount as well, or something like that? It was something.
The Underdark, like the total Underdark.
I mean, the Underdark. Yeah, the Underdark. Yeah. Or Cal.
Which is
They
also
were saying one of their stipulations to showing support was they want more clans to send troops into the war besides just them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that was my offer to them, right?
And they definitely expressed that he was wary because his people were dying and no one else's.
Yeah. Highly suspect. Ratatouille, anyone? No.
Haven't seen it.
You see Ratatouille?
No.
Kyle, what is
Shit.
wrong with you?
Shit.
I have not seen a lot of the modern Disney movies
Ratatouille.
because I don't have.
That's a good
kids
one to
or
watch,
relatives. I
Mhm.
mean, it's nothing against it. It just happens.
And so, how did your conversation with the leader of the Wolf Clan, Bugdeer, end?
He basically was just like, bring me the meteorite. That's it.
And we might be able to get swords from it as well,
yeah.
depending on how much we bring back.
How do you know that?
Because I watched the recap.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense. I was like, did you just intuit that?
That's why I was like,
Damn,
yeah,
man,
we
he's
went to
a
the
genius.
funhouse.
Never
Yeah,
knew.
That's just
I-
how.
The
That's just how.
meteor.
He
Yeah.
was secretly there, David.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking
He was taking a
I
Uh,
mean,
camera.
I was there. You were like, yeah, I thought I would go to the funhouse. I'm like, yeah, I would.
Watching after you wake
Okay.
up from a nap. Yeah, I would.
And y'all had a little bit of discussion after you visited the Wolf Clan house. What did y'all discuss? 'Cause I think some important points were made.
Oh, we're thinking about doing it in different order, or like seeing the whatever clan was dealing with the meteorite.
Or clan.
I think it
Dinner?
was that
Yeah.
Jaryu said that getting a meteorite would be seen as basically like being the Wolf Clan's bitches,
Yeah.
doing their bidding for him, right?
Yeah, I don't think it would be. I didn't think it would be wise to do that right away.
And then I countered that we should still get it and then use it to bargain.
Yeah.
Get it and go store it in a safe house.
Or just keep it on us, depending on how heavy it is.
You guys could keep it at the Worm Clan house.
It's gonna be a meteorite. No.
we can bring it up, I'm sure.
And we don't even know how much we're gonna find. Like,
Yeah, it could
how
be like a
many
pocket full.
weapons feasibly we're gonna make.
That's why we needed to talk to the Boar Clan house first, though, right? Like we need to
Yeah,
push
y'all
that
can
meeting
get
up.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna cut y'all off there only because
Rude.
I think this is a great conversation to have in character. Kind of transitioning you there. Is there anything else that y'all would like to have clarified? Anything that you want to have clarified, Thunder, before we hop in?
Yeah, I was gonna mention that when I saw that video and talking about possibly getting the meteorite and stuff, I at that point, but not like out loud, but within the group, I let everyone know that if we need to do like a quick transportation of meteor, we could like possibly incorporate transport via plants to like chuck that bitch through a tree and it spits out on another side of where we need to maintain that.
Or like a fortress or sanctuary.
Yeah, sanctuary or whatever. Instead of us having to worry about the whole logistics. Just fucking chuck that bitch to a tree. Or pieces of it. It'll spit out on another tree.
I think, didn't we end though that we were still gonna go see the horse next?
I honestly
thought we
don't
were
remember y'all
debating-
talking about the
I
horse.
remember talking about it, but I don't remember.
Am I
if we,
crazy? I
settled-
thought the
This was
horse were the ones
this was
that
afternoon tea, right?
were dealing with the meteorite.
No, it was a Wolf Clan.
No.
meteorite.
We need the
The Boar
horses
Clan were the
support.
ones that, yeah.
Or
The Boar Clan would know about it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because they're
But-
the miners. They found it.
But the session before last, we did want to talk to the Horse Clan because the Horse Clan was. We needed to do something with the Horse Clan because that was going to connect us with one of the other
Kraken.
houses.
Yeah, like I think the Kraken House said we needed the support
Because I'm just trying
of
to,
the
like,
horse.
if we want to move Boar up, that doesn't necessarily mean they're next. Right?
Right.
So we can move them up. They're currently at 7 out of 8.
And this is going to be just for semantics, but let me pull y'all all over to the scene and have this conversation in character. The group of y'all are just kind of in the middle of the city, kind of down in this area, outside of the clan house, but not within a location by any means. As a group of you share this
Are there any
conversation.
taverns around here?
There are.
Yeah, let's go talk about this at a tavern.
Yeah.
Deal.
And y'all find a tavern somewhat near the Wolf Clan house. For those of you that speak Dwarvish, the tavern is named the Bay at the Moon. And off of the imagery on the door and kind of on the outside, it has like stained glass windows depicting wolves howling at a moon. You can kind of gather that this is a tavern that is probably frequented by Wolf Clan members. And as the group of you go inside, it's a pretty lively tavern. There are a pretty good amount of people in here. drinking and talking or whatnot. And there is a bard playing kind of in the back.
So I pull out a piece of parchment and I have a list of all the order of the clans, and I cross the wolf off. And I'm like, all right, so what's our next plan? Next play.
Who's next on the list?
Yeah, can you type out what we have right now?
Yeah, so it's wolf, we just did. Then it was horse, goat, ravens, bear, rat, boar, ox. And if boar needs to be moved up
Well, do we need to talk to the board clan?
for the
Like-
meteorite, yes.
Well,
And we
like,
agree.
can we just like show up wherever the meteorite is and just like help them? Like, do we need to like?
We don't
You know,
know
have
where
like
it
a-
is. They're the ones that know where it is. Oh, he gave us a map, didn't he? Right? He
No,
gave us a map.
I don't remember what he gave us.
They
I didn't
had.
think-
I don't think they gave us a map, but he had
Yeah.
detailed maps of the Underdark. Which, also to recap, out of character, Jar, you found that deeply suspicious that they had maps of the Underdark when they really shouldn't have those.
Yeah, we'll
But
have
also
to-
the clan house was unlocked.
So we're gonna have to go to the Boar clan to get information on the meteorite. That's why we have to go there. We don't know where it's at. We just wander around caves for months and not find it.
And we were hoping to also get info on why they were skeptical or hesitant to do it.
Right, exactly. So you want to like maybe bump them up to before the Ravens? I don't know.
Well, I think we should find out what we can about the meteorite, and then
Yeah,
if it's like an immediate issue, I mean,
And we agreed
it
we
doesn't
weren't going
seem
to
like
split
it.
up, so I definitely think we should stick together no matter what we do.
I agree, at least for the Boar clan, that we should all present ourselves to find out, more details about the stones or this meteorite.
And we could talk, when we do, talk to him about, maybe persuading the Ox and the Stag clan to show favor and vocalize support.
Well, as far as that, it's pretty clear that no one's gonna say they're gonna do it in our first meeting.
Everybody wants something.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like we almost need to just figure out what everyone wants first before we make any promises. That's probably
Right.
for the best.
So do you think
We've
we
already-
should just stick with the plan that we had to all go to horse, all go to goat, and then we split for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? And I'm gonna try to do ox and boar in the same meeting. I already sent a letter to Undarn.
And you're going to talk to them about the meteor during that meeting?
I can schedule us coming back as a full party, but this would be the initial. Okay, what do you want to give support meeting? You know what I mean? This one, that one could be brief, and this would be with all of them, so we can knock them all out faster. We just kind of all do a short tea time with them, and then once we know what everyone wants, we can determine the order of how we want to do it. Does that make sense?
I feel like it's better to see the board sooner though, just in case the meteorite thing just requires like all of us or just one of us to like help. Because if Aslos can carry a big ass meteorite and take care of it himself, well, we should do that. And then whoever, like if we need to replace him for whoever he was going to talk to.
Right, but we might go to the Boar Clan house and they say for us to tell you where the meteorite is, you need to do this other thing first. That's what I'm getting at. That's what we're talking about. Like, they're all going to want something. So, like, the Stag Clan
Yeah.
house can't be the first
Yeah,
one. He
it's
has to have
standing
support
with
from
the
the other
board,
clan
though.
houses.
Mhm.
The Kraken Clan house can't do anything unless the horse does it. The Wolf Clan house
Yeah, it
won't
seems
do
like-
it unless, like,
Okay.
Yeah, it seems like the order that we talk to isn't as important as the order that we accomplish these tasks. Like the order of us, making sure the wolf is happy, then making sure the horse is like making sure like, is it going to be as important as the order we talk to them? As we need to make sure that they're satisfied in the correct order as well too, type thing.
I think so.
It's like, oh, you did that errand for the rat before you did the errand for the Kraken clan type thing.
I'm sure that'll matter in some regard.
So I feel like, yeah, we should just talk to everyone to figure out what exactly they need, and then we figure out the order of service.
I wonder if there's a way we could use it to our advantage in some way.
Like a bargaining.
Like, the Wolf Clan's making us deal with this meteorite issue, which was originally on the Boar clan.
Yep,
And
right.
so we tell them, we want them to support us, and they give us a task to do and say, well, if you want us to support you, you have to do this task. And then we say, if you want us to do that task, you have to help us with this other thing that the Wolf Clan asked you to do to begin with.
But we're already asking for them to join this cause, which is
Right.
kind of the reason why we're already doing this for them. Like, we're basically asking two things of them now. It's like, okay, you got to help us with this other task, and we want you to vote for joining this war type
Well,
thing.
it all depends on what everyone wants, right? That might make complete sense in some certain situations, but we only know what like 2 people want right now. So
Yeah.
like that maybe the meteorite thing, maybe the Boar clan would be like, oh hell yeah, it'll make us look better if we get the meteorite too, like kind of thing. So
Or maybe they give them the credit, like we do it, but then we say that the Boar clan did it.
That could work too.
ooh, that's a good idea.
That way
Those are
we
the
give-
almost
synergies
make
I'm
like
talking about.
an ally amongst not enemies,
Yeah.
but clans that definitely are not friendly with each
Yeah.
other.
Like, we do the good task, but don't take the credit for it. We give it to the other clans.
Maybe that's something we kind of, depending on the task, we kind of take that with what we're doing. Oh,
That's
we all
what I'm
just shut up
saying.
and everything's being fixed, but we didn't do any of it.
Yes, you did. As we're smiling and nodding. Remember, you did that.
Yeah, I can't believe you got this meteorite. Yeah. All right. So
I
how
think
do we?
I think that's a good plan.
So if we're back to just talking to them all, how do we want to split this? Because the order does matter still to it in a sense. Maybe it's not as major as the tasks, but we don't know that.
Yeah.
So do we want to just stick with our current order, or do we want to move someone up? Do we want to move, how do we want to do that?
I mean, I agree with moving the boar up a bit. If we know that we need to still talk to them regarding getting the Wolf Clan on our side.
Yeah, I think the boar should be moved up.
Like, not like number one priority, but like definitely moved up.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I sent that note to Undarn about them being last already because we had that conversation. So are we gonna meet?
You want me to get a
both?
Raven?
Was he cool?
He didn't respond back.
Uh-oh.
Should I get a Raven? And I'm already like opening the window. I'm waiting for a cue before my hand's slowly going out the window.
Jaryu, what are you rolling for?
The time, because we have dinner with the forge.
True. And I believe that this was afternoon tea with the Wolf Clan. Is that correct?
It was.
Yes.
Yes. So I think that would be like maybe almost 3:30-ish. Because the Wolf Clan meeting really didn't take that long, which occurred at 2. Called at 2:45. Y'all walked over to this tavern. Maybe it's like 3:30 now.
We should probably get going to the forge to meet for our dinner.
Okay.
Sweet.
No one was responding.
Are we meeting Goatzel, or who are we meeting?
No, we're meeting that
The
creepy
forge
dude
guy.
from the forge.
Okay.
Let's
So
go.
y'all kind of pack up your things. I like to think that y'all didn't really buy anything. You didn't really like drink. It was more for somewhere to sleep.
That's it.
Um,
To sleep?
yeah, to sleep. Sorry, no, to sit. Um, sorry, multitasking. Um, and you begin to head out. Are y'all walking the entire way, or are you carting?
Oh my gosh, that'd
Got
be
a
so
cart.
fun. Yeah, I got a card.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. When in Von Rieg. And luckily, there's a cart station over here on in East Council. And so the group of you move your way up to the cart, call a cart driver, and it's the same deal where you can tell that they try to organize riders by destination. And so whenever he sees you all walk up, he kind of holds up a hand to you, Jaru, to try and get how many people are with you.
7.
7 o'clock.
Where are you going?
Forge
Forge.
District.
And he yells out in a booming voice, Forge District! And several dwarves kind of push themselves forward as they join you in your carts. And the group of you pile in, and your
I
cart
choose.
is... Uh-huh.
I want to send the far back as possible.
Okay. You do have a dwarf sitting next to you.
I'm okay with that.
Excellent.
Is he okay with that?
The dwarf
Let
is
me
not
see.
okay with it.
Oh shit.
I don't know that, and I just smile.
So I'm watching because I can see that there could be
Yeah.
trouble.
Your smile is terrifying, Thunder.
No, it's not.
Just Thunderface.
Can I roll?
Thunderface.
Can I roll? Can I roll? How are you gonna say my smile is terrifying?
Not terrifying, but I mean you're a giant cat baring your teeth at a dwarf.
What's his passive perception?
Charisma check for sure, right?
Yeah, give me a charisma check. How well do you emulate a human smile, Thunder?
Well, this wouldn't be a saving throw, it's just a regular check, right?
Yeah, just a build check.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you're a little unnerving. Just a little bit. You have fangs that you're bearing, you know? Like you smile.
Definitely.
Fine.
And Durna, are you with the group?
No, not really. I mean, as they're getting on, I guess I would be like, I'll be right behind you. I'll get the next one. Got a couple things to do.
Sure. And so the group bids you farewell, Durna, as you catch a different cart. Where are you going, Durna?
I'm actually not gonna jump a cart just yet. I'm gonna go over to the back over to the Arcane College area, and I'm gonna go kind of to the steps of the Arcane College and kind of passive investigate where I think Grot would start walking first and go talk to some people.
Sure. I'll come back to you in a little bit. You watch as the rest of the party gets on their carts and makes their way down. The group of you will never get used to how rickety and unstable the carts are that travel the length of Von Rieg. It is something you're born into or you're not. Jaryu, you are used to it. But it's like driving in a foreign country that abide by no driving laws. It's not you. And so some of you are kind of grabbing the edges of your cart. They have little handles on the inside that you're hanging on to as you whip across the tracks, going at crazy speeds. And the dwarf that's sitting next to you, I need to change my music. Oh, not in the tavern anymore. The dwarf sitting next to you, Thunder, kind of looks up at you and says in a gruff voice, "Do you speak common?"
I'm not looking at him. I'm just looking straight, and I'm looking in the sky. I'm looking for a raven.
And as you say, looking in the sky, you're in a tight tunnel, traveling probably like 30 miles per hour as you're zooming down. And he says a little bit louder as you're kind of, "Do you speak common?"
I look down. I say, yes.
"What is your kind doing here?" In Vonrig.
Excuse me.
Visiting.
And you can tell from his facial expression the dwarf is not satisfied with this answer. As he kind of stops looking up at you and looks forward and is just kind of sitting on the cart.
I see that he does that, and
Mhm.
as he looks away, I lightly nudge him, and I hold out two fists, and I say, "Pick one."
And you can see his bushy eyebrows raise as he looks up at you. And you hear him gruffly say, "No," as he looks down.
And I say, "Ah, the left one." And then I open up my left hand.
And what's in it?
A good
We
berry.
all know.
And he looks at the good bear and he kind of raises his, "I don't want one. I didn't ask for one. I don't know what that is.
You don't know what a gift is?
I don't know what that is." And he
It's
points
a.
at the little.
And then I open up my right, and I pop that one in my mouth. I'm like, it's a berry.
"I didn't want a berry. I didn't ask for a berry. I asked if you spoke common."
Where am I sitting on the train?
You can be in front of them in the cart ahead.
I'm like,
And I would think that most of the rest of the group would hear this exchange going on.
Yukizos is actually having a montage of good times with Grot going through his mind right now.
Excellent. In
I'm
black
trying to
and
ignore
white.
Thunder.
So I speak up and I'm like, I'm sorry, sir. My friend here is just trying to be friendly and playful. He meant no disrespect.
And
And
Jaryu, you rolled an intimidation check.
I turn around and say, "Take the berry."
Let me. What would he roll?
Well,
What?
my passive intimidation is 19, so did I even need to roll?
God damn.
I don't even know what I would roll to contest that. To be honest, trying to think if there's like.
Constitution?
Let me just Google. Google. Let me
Please
just
Google
Google
it.
really quickly.
I'm gonna Google that shit.
What do you contest with intimidation check?
Would be counter intimidation?
Your intimidate check is opposed by the target's modified level check. 1d20 plus character level. Wait, what? I've never even heard
One
of
D
that.
what plus level?
So just a D20.
He's a level 5
A
dwarf.
raw D20. That's what
He's a level 20. He's like,
Yeah, I actually
Yeah.
don't think you roll against it. I think it's more that you have to beat a check. Since it's just a normal dude, I would say it's like a DC 12, just a normal guy.
yeah.
So yeah, no, you intimidate him as you kind of turn around your cart and yell at him in Dwarvish. I like to think would add like a little bit more punch.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And so he kind of looks at you, Jari, and then looks at you, Jen, and he reaches out for the good berry and
And
takes
I
it.
throw it. Nope, I throw it behind me. And I say, too late. And then I
And he
walk
turns-
away.
He turns to you, Jari, and says in Dwarvish, "Is he with you?
Yes.
What the fuck was that?"
He was trying to give you a gift, asshole.
And he kind of does this and just looks down and shuts up for the rest of the minecart ride.
Oh my god.
And the cart zooms forward. It keeps going.
Remember that time
I-
Grot heated my armor for me? In the bitter cold.
I would like to have a perception check from the entire group that's on the carts.
Animal handling? Got it.
Ew.
Let's go.
Wah, wah, wah.
And
The dwarf stabs me.
Jen, you Thunder and Yokizos, you all overhear a conversation from two dwarves that are in a minecarts in front of you. and it's a conversation between the two of them. They aren't necessarily trying to be quiet. They're speaking in Dwarvish, and you just happen to overhear. And what kind of piques your interest into this conversation is what they're talking about, because the one dwarf says to the other, he says, "Yes, I recently wrote to my brother down in Felnorum, and he was speaking about how across the sea, the Strike Sea, that they are beginning to organize their militia." And the other dwarf kind of raises his eyebrow and says, "Militia? For what cause?" And the other dwarf says, "Well, apparently the humans are beginning to think that this war will be coming northward, but I don't believe it. To cross the Strike Sea would be egregious." And the other dwarf kind of nods and he says, "I have a brother across the sea, actually, in Mixida." And the dwarf kind of slaps his head softly and says, "He's in Mixida, you idiot." And the other kind of laughs as he rubs his head and says, "Oh yes, we're not close."
And they
And
in Dwarvish, right?
yes, that was in Dwarvish.
Yeah, I didn't catch it.
Yeah, I didn't know what the fuck he just said.
But I saw a meaningful interaction.
I would like to think that maybe Yokizos was kind of translating for you as he's listening. But Yokizos, don't let me speak for you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. After hearing that, I do kind of snap out of my little stupor, and I'm like hush hush, like leaning back, like hey, he said blah blah blah. And then Yokizos leans back on his cart, and he's kind of sitting on it like this. He's like, "The war is coming north, you know." Like out loud, like super loud, so they can hear it.
And the one dwarf kind of turns around and says, "Excuse me."
You said you didn't think the war was coming north. That's exactly where it's coming.
"I don't know what makes you say that." And the other one kind of speaks up.
We were just fighting in it about a week ago.
The one dwarf kind of cocks his head and says, "Oh yes, I heard about your group. Where were you fighting again?"
In Ocaria, and we found that the Ocarian war was just a distraction all along. They've been moving up towards the Earth Sign folk, up in the Falklands.
Hmm. I heard rumor that they are snakes. Is this true?
Very true.
And when you say that, you can see a little bit of brightness go over their faces. As one of them smiles and says, "Ah, snakes. They will stand no chance for a Norvesk winter then. We are perfectly safe."
I don't even know what to say to that.
Tell them that these aren't regular snakes.
These aren't your regular garden snakes.
Let them know that they could be compromised.
These are humanoid snakes that turn people like you and me into one of them, with no mind of their past life.
They
And I'm
this to
assuming
dwarves?
you
They do
was
this
just
to
repeating what I said.
everything.
I'm flicking my tongue like a snake.
And you can see that one of the two dwarves is like kind of watching, like his attention is now grabbed by thunder behind Yokizos.
Oh, okay. Listen. I want to plan this perfectly because we're in the fucking tunnels, right? So I'm assuming there's some light that comes through a little bit. I want to have it to where I do that with my tongue, and then as soon as it grows dark, I wild shape into a fucking snake and do that. And then when it flashes again, I'm back to my normal self.
All right, this is going to require a few checks, Manny. I
Alright.
need a performance check.
Okay.
How fast can you do it?
Because this is quite the performance
Time it,
that you're
yeah.
putting on.
Oh no.
Nah, you don't time it.
Oh!
You don't time it. The light flickers like you described, like almost like a train, right? Where it's like
Yeah.
light, dark,
Right,
light,
right,
dark.
yeah.
And you botch the timing back. When the light
Damn.
turns on, you're still a snake, and then they watch you wild shape. I mean, it still like spooks them a little bit. They're kind of like, "Whoa, what the fuck?"
Damn
But
it!
it's not. Yeah, it's not
You
how
guy's
you
a
had it in
loser.
mind.
Definitely not Lynx.
Afterwards, you feel like a little bad about it.
The
Yeah.
dwarves lean and are like, definitely not part of the Lynx clan house.
If there was a window, I'd be looking out the window right now.
Yeah. And they turn their attention back around as the carts are coming. And it takes a good like 30 minutes to make this trek. Y'all went a far ways as the mine cart drops y'all off in the south of the Forge District. Once again, y'all are greeted with the warmth, with the smoky smells of the red hot magma that is flowing all throughout the center of the Forge District. The towering statue of Balma looms over, or Mothra, sorry, looms over all of you, and you can see in the distances the silhouettes of the boar and the ox clan house.
Yokizos takes a moment to soak in all the heat.
Yes, Yokizos loves it as he basks in the warmth. The rest of you feel a bit hot.
Alright, on to the forge.
Lead the way.
We do have time to go sell that thing at the Hall of Slain.
The Eye of Rexua or whatever.
How much
I
money
don't
do you
know.
think that's really worth?
Oh well, I guess I'm gullible. I thought it was actually worth money.
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, it's just a question away.
Well, let's go.
If only we had Aslo, she's the true salesman here. He'd know how to sell that toe.
Yeah, maybe we should wait for Aswell. Well, Aswell's is here, but he's in a catatonic state right now, so I don't know.
His tiara fell off and he can't quite grasp his intelligence right now.
Maybe we'll come back. Maybe we will come back.
Okay. So it sounds like you are skipping, and so instead, the group of you are heading down the Forge District to the Forge, and it takes maybe 15 minutes or so to make your way kind of through the meandering buildings and to up against the Magma River. It's pretty cool, not gonna lie.
Hell
And
yeah.
eventually, the group of you reach the entrance to the Forge.
Wait, I'm sorry. We're not going to the Hall of Slain?
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I
Oh.
misunderstood.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna wait
No,
on
yeah, yeah.
Aslos.
Because he's the
Oh,
salesman.
okay. Yeah. No, my bad. I didn't realize we just were skipping going all together. I thought we were still going, but waiting to necessarily sell the thing.
I mean, do we want to go?
I mean, if y'all want to go, we could go. I thought that was the main reason, was just to see if we could sell it.
I mean, it's up to you guys. We can just go to the forge.
Well, could you sell the toe, Jim?
I can sell anything.
All right, let's fucking go.
Okay. And so the group of you walk up to to a building that's marked as the Hall of Slain. You can see that on the front of it, it has like what would appear as though like a mounted like lizard's head of sorts, like a basilisk maybe, but completely carved out of stone. And it lingers over the doorstep, over these two giant wooden doors that have been carved with different beasts of like mythics, right? Like you have like like a leviathan, a behemoth, and whatnot. And on the left side of these two towering doors is a little piece of paper that is kind of flapping in the heated wind.
I
That's
read
how we
it.
dwarven.
Yeah, it's in Dwarven, so unfortunately, Thunder, you walk up to it and kind of look, but it makes no sense to you.
Pretend
And so,
I do, and I just nod.
uh-huh.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll a performance check.
God damn it.
And then I immediately go read it.
Yeah. And as you watch Thunder trying to make out whether or not he can read it, Yokizos, you actually read it. And
Fuck, man.
I ask Thunder, hey, what does it say?
They're closed until tomorrow because of maintenance. The piping underneath the ground busted. Too many shits.
And I look over at Yorkizos.
And Yokizos, you find that it says the following. Let me type it out for you in Dwarvish.
Is there an update on the forge? Because my fucking rolls are low today. Is there like an update I'm missing or
Yeah,
something?
he put like a -10 on your rolls.
God damn.
Invisible.
I forgot to record that part last week.
I get advantage on all my rolls today, though.
Also forgot to record that.
What's that?
He also
Uh,
forgot to record that.
Okay, so yeah, Thunder was totally wrong. It says out until I say I'm not. Headed to the Elderwood for business.
Sounds like they're closed, like I said.
Yeah, nothing to do with pipes or whatever the hell you just brought up.
What's the Elderwood?
Yeah, what's the Elderwood?
Do I know what the Elderwood is?
Yeah, you would know what the Outer Wood is. I can message it to you. Or yeah, I'll message it to you.
Is it like the Elder Wand?
Give me a second, guys. I'm thinking.
Thunder knows.
Insight, you can't know if you don't know. He's telling the truth, guys.
How do you know what you don't know? Hmm?
And Thunder, you watch as Jaryu is like kind of trying to rack his brain on what it might be. And
Yeah,
it
I'm gonna scratch my chin like I'm lost and
Yeah.
and I'm gonna make a performance of it. Show what it's really about to Thunder.
Mhm.
And the Elderwood is a petrified forest deep within the Underdark caverns.
Ooh, a forest.
So with my
And I
insight
make
check,
it sound really spooky with my performance.
Yeah. And
I'm
my
intrigued
insight
with
check on your
Forrest.
performance, since it's meter B, I know you're doing a performance.
and,
But I also believe you told
Thunder,
the truth.
you do hear it's a petrified forest.
Yes,
In the Underdark, huh?
which means it's a forest that's scared.
Constantly scared.
Scared still.
Constant state of scared.
Is it called New Text Forest?
I found petrified wood in the bogs all the time. It just means it was drenched in water for a long time.
Yes, it's
Underwater
least-
forest?
at least 1 feet deeper than the city of Von Rieg.
That's nothing.
So it's like a 1 foot tall forest? That's kind of weird.
Yeah, my tree's bigger than that, and I think about my 2 foot, my 2 foot tree.
Yeah. It's like twice that. Alright, well anyways, let's go to the forge, I guess. We'll come back.
Boo.
Yeah. And the group of you head on over to the forge. Before we do that, though, I would like to go over to Durnow. You head back to the Arcane College, and you are trying to intel gather, like you described. Take in the sights, the sounds of possibly what Grot would have seen when leaving the Arcane College. And so you kind of stand in the doorway and look outwards from the step of the entryway to the Arcane College. What do you do?
Yeah, so like I said, passive insight of 21, investigation of 22. So I'd probably just sit there and kind of, look at the ground, even though I know it's been too many days, anything in there, kind of looking around and just kind of get myself in the mode of Grot Shoes, knowing everything I know about him. All right, just thinking about where he would step next, and just kind of getting out with that in mind of likely people that he would have maybe encountered on his way in whatever direction I think is most probable.
Sure. And you stand at this location for a good amount of time.
Yeah, taking my
I'm
time.
going to say like 20, 30 minutes. You're just standing, watching, listening, taking in everything. This location that you're standing at looks out to a like a corridor, right? of buildings and houses and whatnot that slowly veers to the left. And you lose this angle of the corridor due to the buildings that are in front of it. You can't see over them. And I would like to know, what is your passive insight again?
Let me go back to that. My passive insight is 21.
Excellent. And so you're standing there and you're not getting frustrated, that's too strong of a word, but you're feeling a little stuck. Nothing's jumping out at you, no locations seem obvious. The people walking past don't seem like anyone that Grot would be interested in. It's children, families, couples, no one of interest. And you have a realization. As you're standing here at this entryway, exactly where Grot would have stood to leave the Arcane College, you put something together. You, even though you're standing here where Grot stood, you aren't seeing what Grot saw. Because Grot, being a Fearbolg, is probably 3.5 to 4 feet taller than you.
Yeah, Epiphany. Definitely look around for like a place where I can kind of get a foot up, like a colonnade or whatever it is. You know, like looking a little goofy, looking a little weird, maybe trying to
Yeah,
get a couple
yeah.
feet on the side of a column or something that's as close to that area as I can find.
And you're definitely attracting a little bit of attention as you kind of pull yourself up. One of the, I like to imagine like the front of this arcane college has like these Greco-Roman columns to represent its prestige and scholarliness. And so you kind of skimmy your way up onto one of these columns as you're trying to like hold on and look out over the same alleyway that you would have looked at previously. And you're now looking at it from a height of maybe 6.5 to 7 feet as you scan. And you muster all of the strength that you have to stay up on this column as long as possible as you're just scanning out, desperate to try and find something that might grab your attention. And that is when you see something that grabs your attention. It's small, and if it weren't for the conversation or the interaction that you shared with Yokizos and Jar, or just Yokizos, sorry. Previously in the Arcane College, you probably never would have seen it or thought anything of it. But you scan out, and probably 30 feet ahead of you, where the causeway angled earlier, now you can see over one of the buildings that was previously blocking your vision. And as you look over it, you can see the other side of where the alley angles. And up against where the building meets the stone of the roadway, you can spot a little bit of black ash up against that building.
Oh yeah. So casually get back down and start not power walking, but moving pretty that direction with a good idea of what I think I'm about to do.
Okay. Yeah, and you make your way to it. Obviously, no one else is interested in this ash that is on the ground.
I go ahead and take a little bit of a try to make a little sample situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you pull out a small vial, kind of scoop up a little bit, cork it.
And then I'll kind of start repeating the process. I won't climb things, but I will continue to be scanning because I know how far away I am from there, and then I'm gonna keep looking around for any more like that. And if I can't find any, going back up again, whatever I can do to get a bit that extra 2 foot, continue that process. See if I get lucky.
And your instincts are correct. You're able to follow this a bit. Not as far as you would like as you hit a dead end. About here.
Okay.
And so where you are now, it opens up. And it's this grand little plaza like you can see here, right? This very open entryway. And in front of you, obviously, I mean, it's marked on the map. The most awe-inspiring thing that you can see is the gigantic grand lift that continually goes up to bring people through the ceiling of Von Rieg, and it comes back down, and then it goes down to bring people down into the subsurface of Von Rieg.
Righteous.
And I'll let you take in that view as I go to the other side. The other ones of you reach the door of the forge. The Dorge.
The Dorge. Does it say that on the Dorge?
Yeah, the Dorge of the forge.
Hell yeah. I give it the old hefty knock.
And almost as soon as you knock it, the door opens.
Yeah, I'm like still mid like in the
Yeah.
middle of hitting the next rap.
And a
Creepy.
the
Yeah.
same little odd dwarf enters the door. And you can see that this time he is dressed rather fancily. Like awkwardly fancily. Fancier than any of you are dressed. He has a very old, kind of moth-eaten bowler hat. He has a huge bow tie that is obviously not fit for him. A suit jacket that's a little too small. He has nice music playing in the background. I'm going to try and find something better. I want to find like, this will work.
Do you have an image of him, David?
I don't have
It'd be
one
even
ready.
better
I'm
if
so
nothing
sorry.
was playing. It was just awkward.
And he has like an old vinyl playing of classical music. A large fireplace is lit in the center of the forge where you all went last time. He has a monocle, and you can see that he has waxed his mustache rather poorly, and he has shaved his beard where he only has his mustache now, and his hair is waxed over to the side.
Is it
And
a
he
real
op-
monocle or a fake one?
Roll a perception check to try and kind of stare at it and see.
Like I don't see any fucking curve on that bad boy.
You said perception?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, there's no glass in
You
it. It's
said
empty.
plus 10.
I like to
Fucking
think
nothing.
that like your brows kind of fall whenever you see it. So you're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And he swings open the door and says, "Hello, greetings, welcome, come on in, come on in." And he brings you all inside, where you can see that he already has 7 glasses of wine poured at a very large table. And at the center of the table is a candle that is lit, as well as a platter full of biscuits. And I want to stress, to jar you, this is wild, because none of what he has place set is dwarven custom at all. In fact, you happen to think that he has no idea what humans like, so he just kind of put out a little bit of everything, because as you look closer, there are biscuits, jelly beans, a candy cane, several sausage rolls, and uncooked shrimp.
Ew.
So, because I can change my spells at the beginning of every day, can I retroactively change one of my spells?
Sure.
Okay. I very clearly, like in front of him and obviously doing it, cast Detect Poison and Disease on the food.
Sure.
At level 7, fuck it.
Wow.
Why not?
Damn.
Yeah. What does this spell look like?
I'd like to think it blankets like everything on the table in like a blue light, and if it's poison, it's actually turns into a green light.
Yeah. So funny enough, your poisons do not trigger, but your disease does on the shrimp.
Yeah.
And when
the
this
disease
happens,
is
you can
actually
see
purple.
he pales. Okay, yeah, they all begin to glow a soft purple color, and you can see that he pales a little bit as he begins to gather the shrimp and kind of begins to mutter angrily under his breath. "I am so sorry. I thought I got these from a premier shellfish vendor here in Von Rieg, but we're so far from the ocean that we can't get them fresh." And he kind of shoves them all off the table, kind of like you would swat crumbs off a tabletop, and they just get put on the floor.
Wait, no, I got those. And I picked those
Try to
up and
poison us.
I start eating those on the floor.
I'm
immune to
an
poison,
insight
it's okay.
to see if he actually got them from a premier place or if he just bought them like around the corner at like the Shell Shack or something.
And Jin, what is your insight check for?
Also, I wanted to know if he was lying. Like, I want to know if he knew they were bad or if he intentionally thought they were good and was mistaken.
Sure. I think both of your checks would pass. Jin, you were able to tell that he's not lying. He thought that the shrimp were good. But Yokizos, he is lying about where he bought them. And Vinces, you're able to successfully get a couple off the ground. And boy, did they not taste good.
I leaned to Jin.
Are they
'cause I know
poisonous?
we
Do they
had,
taste poisonous?
They taste diseased.
I leaned to Jin
Do-
because we kind of shared a look whenever he said that. I'm like, he must have got
Wait, I'm pretty
Shell
sure I'm
Shack
immune to
around the
both
corner.
poison and disease.
Yeah, you want to go there next?
To the Shell Shack that serves diseased shrimp? I don't know about that.
They might have some good stuff. I don't know.
And he pulls out all of your chairs.
Oh, I
for you.
am.
You are immune to disease? Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't affect you. You can still taste it, but yeah, it doesn't affect you in any way.
That would have been unfortunate.
Yeah, that would have been bad. And
So.
a lot of confidence in yourself. I like that. But he pulls out a chair for each of you, and then pulls out a moth-eaten chair for himself, and kind of plops himself down on it. You can see that he has a small booster seat on it to make himself seem taller. And he kind of claps his hands and he says, "Welcome, welcome, welcome, willkommen for my dwarvish friends. Welcome."
We're
Well,
Make sure to sit as far away from.
we're
him as
glad to
possible.
be received.
Well, of course. What brings you here today?
Well,
Well, roll dice.
God damn.
okay.
So
So
you're
this is how I'm
lying.
gonna do this. I'm lying, and I just want to say we're glad to be received so warmly, and we know why we're here, and I think you know why we're here, and I think you want to tell us what's been going on here.
And I'm nodding the whole time.
I did
And he's also nodding the whole time. And with a big smile on his face. Oh, I'm sorry. You wanted to roll a perception check, Yokizos?
Does he smell like someone who smells like shit with like poorly washed clothes but has a bunch of Axe body spray on?
Yeah, he definitely has like a very cheap, earthy cologne on that is way too much. Way too much is on there. And he's also smiling and nodding while you say that, Jario. And while he's smiling and nodding, he says to you, "What?
The basement, good sir.
Wait, that's why you're here?"
You told us what happened down there, and we told you if we believe you and that your cause is just, we'll help you get this place up and running again.
Oh my god, I thought that you were here for dinner.
Well,
Well,
of course.
Yeah, and like I'm shoving
Of
food in my
course.
mouth. We're here to eat too.
Yeah, just the non-disease stuff.
Yeah.
The jelly beans are securely non-diseased. I made them myself.
Yeah, I've already determined everything else here is not diseased or poisoned.
Yes.
I say
Very
to him,
good, huh?
Then I look at the party like.
And I said, Yokizos just has a really sensitive stomach, so he always checks to make sure he doesn't have the
I
runs.
think back to all the rotten body parts I ate with Aslos.
Oh my Boma, I had no idea that's why you were here. I thought you just wanted my company.
Well,
Yeah.
of course,
Both.
but
I
you
spit
just
up some
seem
wine.
you just seemed to leave rather upset last time, and we wanted.
Did
to make
I?
Didn't he? I look
That
around.
was Goetzel. I say it out loud. That was Goetzel, the smelting museum owner.
I'm sorry. You're called the Forge, the Smelting Museum. I'm always getting them confused.
What?
It's where we
what?
forge new friends.
Yeah. No, but you know what I'm getting at. What's his name? God damn it. What is his name? Do we even know his name?
I love to imagine that all of this is happening just at the table.
Samson? Is it? No.
Was it a history check?
Sure.
Alright, would an 18
What is it?
pass if I've only met him once?
I don't
Oh,
fucking
he
know.
said his name again at the beginning here, right? Hold on, let me stop the recording and go back and watch it.
Look,
He did not say it whenever y'all came in today.
yeah, we
Shit.
didn't know his name. So, anyways, I'm gonna say and this is part of my deception check if it still counts, but we spoke to the High Magistrate. We know something is going on in this basement.
Oh
That's
my
what we're here
god!
We're trying to help
Oh.
clear your name, dude, and then we'll help you out if it's actually clear.
And he's running his hands through his mustache. You're here to arrest me.
for. No, we're here to maybe
Oh.
help you.
Did
Oh,
you
you're
do
here to
something
help me.
wrong?
Well. And he looked at you with a blank face, Jen.
Look, we're not the police. You can tell us. We don't have the authority to arrest you.
Oh, this is a big relief for me.
Good.
What?
And he begins to eat a jelly
Okay.
bean.
I
But
mean, like,
that's
doing
stand-
the work, like what?
but that means you should, be more inclined to trust us because we could potentially get you out of it.
How do I know that you're here to help me?
Because we're the Diamond Dragons. Haven't you heard of us?
The Diamond Dragons.
Why
No.
else would we show up? You think
You
we're
know-
here for juicy gossip?
Yeah,
For,
you're here
for
with
hot
we
goss,
give you-
yes.
Oh, what's your
What?
name?
If we honestly wanted you arrested, why wouldn't we just send the magistrate?
Well, I don't know. I didn't think that you wanted me arrested until you said that you could. And then that scared me. I thought that
I
you
never
came
said
here
I
for
could.
dinner and hot goss.
I said I'm here to help you.
Oh,
But
okay.
you
You
need
may
to help
me.
us and help yourself.
And then
How
I cast
does
Zone
me-
of Truth. At
And he
level
watches as like the
6.
golden orb of light kind of floods over the table, and you can see he's mystified. Oh,
It's huge.
this is beautiful. Yes.
Covers half the city.
Well,
Proof under our control.
I am very welcome to your help. Thank you. I think that we should start with help by attracting more people here to the forge.
No, no, no,
And
no.
I think that we should have a big. Oh! Stop. And he raises his hands. You are the Diamond Dragons.
Yes.
Imagine with me if we. And he reaches his little hand out to put on your shoulder, Jen. This weekend, we hold a dance night featuring the Diamond Dragons. Can you imagine how many people you will bring to the forge?
Okay.
I just
Wait,
stare
we'll
back
entertain
No,
flat.
no.
No, we won't. We'll entertain that.
Oh,
But you need to tell us about what happened in the basement. Every detail.
why do you care about what happened in my basement? Hmm?
Because the Diamond Dragons are a pristine organization, and we can't have any questionable characters
Are you
tied to
trying
it.
to taint our reputation with the Forge's dark history?
With dark history. Shame on you. That is unfounded and unreasonable.
Okay, then
The cast
explain
charm
why.
person.
We're just like beating him up with spells.
And he raises his hands in defense as you assault him with magic. But you do it.
We're all friends here.
We're all friends here, and I give him a handful. I give him a good berry.
I'm going to roll a check for him because it's only fair.
Wait, is that
It is only fair.
on? We're all friends here.
He fails.
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah.
He is charmed. You can watch as his eyes kind of glaze over a little bit. And he looks at you, Thunder, and he says, "We are all friends here, yes." Yeah.
Thunder, make him
All right.
tell us what's in the basement.
So, what do friends do in the basement?
You want to go to the basement?
Well, of course.
No, we want to know what happens in the basement. We don't want to go there necessarily.
Yeah, but we want to know what goes down there. We're all friends here. We don't keep secrets.
We're all friends here. You want to... You have confused me. You want to see or hear the basement?
Tell us
Bro.
first. My friend.
And when you say that, he looks at you with glazed eyes and says, "Mon frère."
So,
my friend the Dwarvish.
what was your name again? I'm sorry, we only met that one time, and we've met several people since then.
Oh, my name is Hans.
Hans, that's right. Now I fully remember that.
Yeah.
So, anyways, back to the matter at hand. We just want to know, like, we're as friends. We just want to know, like, what's the juicy gossip about what happened that night? You know, the hot
The
goss.
hot gas. Hot
Yeah.
gas. Yeah. Well, as you know, the Forge, it hosts social events, functions, and other events of merriment, yes?
Yeah, it does a great job at that.
It does the best job at that. And so, I was requested by a group of individuals here in Von Riek that prefer to stay nameless to host a social event in the basement.
A what?
A social event.
Well,
Levin?
What was the social event?
friends don't keep secrets, so you could tell us which group
Come on,
requested it.
Hans. Come on. I'm doing like the elbow thing. Come on.
Ah, yes, my friend. Okay, well, and he gets very serious for a moment. It's very difficult because you're telling me to tell you, but they told me not to tell anyone. And
But
you
who are you
are
friends with?
Who's your friends, Hans?
you are anyone, so
Who's your friends, though, Hans?
you are my friends, of course.
Exactly.
For those that are trying to get this information out of Hans, I need persuasion checks. You can have advantage because he's charmed.
I guess that's fair.
Can I try to stealthily sneak to the basement while he's being interrogated?
Boo, boo, boo.
Sure, you sure can.
And then thunder.
Oh,
And Ventus, you like kind of get up to excuse yourself and begin to try to quietly go off from the table. And Hans kind of looks over at you and says, "Where's he going?"
Answer
the bathroom.
There's no bathroom here, you liar.
Well, I will find
Oh,
one.
wait, you have a party place without a
and go in the
bathroom?
back.
Well, see, this is why I need help.
To put
He
in a
looks really
bathroom?
sad.
That's like day one commercial lot. Come on. Alright, Hans. There's an improvement you can make right there. Put a bathroom in.
But yes, the words I know. It's the building, the funding. Please tell the bird to come back.
We're the ones. He doesn't.
I'll
He
look
doesn't
to
care
the
about the
basement.
story, Hans. We're the ones that care about it.
What?
There, you definitely won the perception.
Yes.
Yeah. And yes, the persuasion is definitely successful. He will continue, but he definitely sees Ventus roaming off, and doesn't
Oh,
like it.
my dumbass.
You
It's
get
okay.
perception.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Go
Sure.
I
on.
was like, no better.
Jaryu, you read his thoughts,
Yeah.
and so you get surface level, right?
Yeah. But I'm gonna probe deep into Hans's motherfucking brain.
Jesus.
Could I? Is there a way for me to
Thunder.
roll? Is there a way for me to roll for me to know that Jaryu did that?
No,
No. Okay.
sorry.
So I could be
Uh,
like,
just-
"Who
no, I
don't
really-
you want to tell us about?" And then he thinks about it, and then Jaryu's like, "Oh yeah, him."
I really just want to detect his thoughts to determine if I can come up with a more convincing strategy to give us a clear, straight answer on what is happening in the basement.
So you cannot probe deeper, but
Okay.
you do get his surface level thoughts, and it's simple. It just says, "They are going to kill me if they know I told."
Okay.
We can protect you
Hans?
from them. We're the Diamond
Yeah.
Dragons.
Sorry, that was that was what Jaryu read his mind.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's
And
okay.
I say very levelly to him, Hans, no one will hurt you. We are your friends. If you tell us the truth of what happened in that basement, you will be safe.
And when you're
He
saying that
says
to
that I
him, he's looking at me
smile.
with like big eyes, like, hmm.
Yeah, I smile. When he said,
And you do much better. You do much
Yes.
better. You're learning.
Yes.
You're learning
Yes.
how to smile like a humanoid. And he says very quietly, "They are very scary people. I didn't like what they did."
What did they do?
And he kind of starts to get tearful as the music gets intense. They took over my basement. They lit candles. There was an altar. And he kind of stands up and says, I think it would be easier to show you.
Hans, first you have to tell us who were these people.
I cannot tell you.
Was it one clan?
No. No, it was dwarves from all clans, I think.
That is the purpose of the
The Worm
forge.
clan?
Exactly. The forge, and he gets really excited. The forge is clanless.
Yeah, you
All right,
Forge
show us
new
where it's at.
friendship.
Show us where it's at.
Let's
Hans.
go.
And he gets really serious again.
Hans.
Let's go, friend.
And he stands up.
Hans, can you write it?
No, this is
Okay,
No.
just checking.
too scary.
They might not have specified.
I love your
And he-
Durban. No.
No. And he begins to walk deeper into the forge. He walks past a little kitchen area that is pretty dusty and grimy looking, and he brings you to the back room. And it's a small washroom that has like a sink and some clotheslines in it. And there's a cellar door in the ground that he opens, and it leads you downwards in through a cellar ladder. And he kind of points and he says, "Are you ready?"
I just go
Yeah.
down the ladder.
And he's looking at it like very like he's like very scared.
Yeah, can I just go down? Like,
Yeah, tell us more. Like what was happening while they were here. Tell us everything you can remember.
They said, "May we go to the basement?" And I said, "Yeah." And then I thought they were going to do something fun. So I asked, "May I join in the merriment?" And they said, "Yes, if you want." And so I joined. And it was not merry like I hoped it would be.
What happened?
Yuki's just keeps leaning in further, waiting for like the bomb to drop, but it's not happening. So he's just like,
And
Touching him with your head.
he begins to go down the ladder as he talks. And he says, "Well, and as y'all go down the ladder, this ladder is actually quite long. It probably sends you down like 15 feet or so.
It's bigger than the forest.
Yeah, wait, what?
Way better.
It's bigger than that shit. The fucking the 1 foot forest.
I was like, what? Yes. Well, no, but it's like 10 or 15 feet. And it brings you into a small stone cavern. And in this small stone cavern, you can see that this is not the link I thought it was. That's actually hilarious.
there's a lot of people down there hanging out.
Yeah, that was not what it was supposed to be.
Throwing dice.
It's a cavern. And you can see that this cavern has been changed quite dramatically. And on the far side of the cavern is a large altar that has been built. It won't look exactly like this, but at least gives you an idea of the vibe. And the altar has been
Ooh.
constructed in a way that is extremely ominous. Slipping off of the altar, like dripping, is ooze, slime and ooze, and the walls are dripping slime and ooze. Continuously, green, black, gray slimes are dripping from any crack or orifice in this small little cavern. There are multiple candles lit and burning, and it's empty beyond that. And so he brings you all to the bottom and lights a little lantern that casts light upon this small chamber.
While we're down here, I'm just gonna cast Pass Without Trace on us.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna use my Eyes of the Grave because I never get to use this.
Sure.
I do want to ask him because he says that they're from different clans. I want to ask, do the clans that were down here, do they belong to a specific district, or are the clans throughout Bonrig?
And he turns to you and says in a very hushed voice, I believe that they were part of clans all over the city.
Were there any
And-
Worm Clan members here?
Yokizos, you look out with your eyes at the grave to try and kind of scan for any kind of undead, any kind of existence that insults the natural cycle of life. And you don't detect any undead, which is helpful. To you, Jaryu, he turns and he says, No worm clan.
Do we need to like ask through the list?
like- and he's just like- and he's just like-
Four.
He's just like staring at the altar, wide-eyed.
Who ran the ceremony?
And he turns to you with his wide eyes. His bow tie is now drooping. His waxy mustache looks so sad, and he lost his monocle. I cannot tell you.
But we're friends, Hans. We're
We
here
are
to help you.
friends. No. And he kind of looks at you like a little more seriously. I cannot tell you. Even if I wanted to, my friend. I am. And he kind of looks at you really closely. I can't.
Did they cast some kind of spell on you?
And he turns to you, Jin, with the same wide eyes. They didn't. And he turns back to the altar. They did.
You guys think
Hey.
this is like the Yanti, right?
Did he point?
To the altar,
They-
yeah.
Who's
Oh.
they? Who's they?
Uh,
The ooze?
I cast
I'll-
Detect
I'll-
Magic.
I
Okay.
want to cautiously start walking towards the altar.
Okay, Vince, as you begin to approach the altar, Yokizos, you cast Detect Magic. Let me think. Since magic, just magic. I'm sure there is some modicum of magic in this chamber.
I now cast Dispel Magic.
Oh, that was the best
Welcome,
David
Bravo.
DM ever.
Choose one creature, update. I'm guessing you're doing to the magical effect that you
Sure.
And-
I am, like, you know,
blanket shooting
being
out.
cleric, yeah. Being cleric guy, I'm like, this place looks evil as fuck, so I'm over here like, pew, 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 pew. No, don't be evil anymore, like shooting Dispel Magic everywhere.
Yeah. You cast Dispel Magic in the chamber, and the slime, the ooze that has been dripping and falling from the chasms and cracks in the stone ceases to weep. Hi, baby. Hi, cutie.
Can I do a nature
Oh.
check on the ooze?
Sure. I don't think that you would be able to glean anything from a 9. Jaryu, you rolled a history check.
Yeah, I rolled it with my stone cunning ability to see if I could ascertain the origin of the stone altar.
The stonework you would be able to. Well, I guess are you asking the source of the rock?
Well,
Let me try and understand a little bit better.
Yeah, like I guess if I can investigate or determine like if I recognize anything from my experience in the Underdark as to like if I've seen this before. I don't know what kind of role that would be.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I think, and let me know if I'm assuming here. I think what Jar you would be interested in is, does this altar have any relation like with hail or any other kind of like something in that avenue? Maybe is that kind of
Yeah.
what you're poking at?
Yeah, sure.
Um, yeah, and no, this does not seem like an altar to hail. There are no symbols to hail, nothing like that on this altar.
I recall, Jerry, you talking about the underground forest. I'm looking for any trees nearby.
And I should specify, this cavern is quite small, maybe the size of like my kitchen. So no.
Wow.
I'd like to cast Stone Shape and turn the altar into an idol of Mothra instead.
Yeah, you watch as the stone reworks itself, and the room gets very cold.
And then I walk around and start like blessing the room basically.
Can I check out some of the ooze? Is this like
Sure.
the same kind of black ichor, like the black blood?
Black broth.
The black broth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roll a nature check for me.
I say good luck.
Just because you failed.
Yeah.
No, this really isn't a liquid at all. This is like slime. Very viscous.
God damn, we all suck at these rules.
What was the
Yeah,
survival check for?
To see if I recognize the ooze.
Let me look really quickly. Yeah, you do kind of. So what makes you feel like you might recognize it is from the hunk of blue goo that you have. Do you remember what you fought to get that?
That I fought to get the hunk of blue goo.
The gelatinous cube?
Right. That's what it reminds you of.
But it's red.
Red and black, green, gray, all different colors are weeping from the walls of this cavern. Especially over the altar. It is like coated in slime. And Ventus, you walk up to it, and you see, now that you're closer to it, in this disgusting array of slimes and oozes that are just dripping off of the altar, that's not all that's there. In the slimes and the oozes that kind of almost become opaque with their thickness, you can see trapped within it are bones.
I'm gonna reach out and pull out a bone. Is there like a bunch of bones or just like?
It's a good amount of bones. And
Like,
as you
is
reach
there a
in,
skull or?
sure, we'll say there's
Yeah,
a
I'll pick
skull.
out a skull if there's a skull.
And these bones are eaten away at. And even as you reach your hand inside, you can feel your skin begin to burn as you take 1d10 acid damage.
Ooh, I'm not
Ooh.
new to that.
And yeah, you can feel like the burning as you kind of pull it out. And this bone, like I said, is eaten away at. It's being dissolved by the oozes and the slimes.
Okay, I lean in and investigate the ooze a little more. Like, do I like see it actively burn like whatever it's doing, or is it more like it's not like super dangerous, or like does it smell weird or anything?
Definitely smells weird. You can hear kind of the slight hissing as it's burning away this bone.
Does it? I ask Hans to hold up the lantern close to the wall where there's a bunch of ooze flowing down, and see if there's any sentience to the ooze.
And you can
Like,
see
does
now
it
that
move away from the lantern?
thanks to the dispel magic, no new ooze is being formed. What's weeping from the walls is the last of it. But it doesn't seem as though this slime is alive, like the gelatinous cube. And he kind of turns to you, Jory, and says, "Isn't it horrible?
Why
It's
haven't
been
you had
doing this."
anyone come clean this up yet?
And he kind of turns and he says, "Well, I tried to clean it up, but it wouldn't stop dripping. I'd come and take bucket and bucket and bucket of all of this goop, and then I would come the next day. It's all back.
How
Hey,
Oh, hold on. I guess I'll do this. I want to see how
David,
old
I'm
the mountains
rolling.
are.
Okay. Yes, Thunder, your check.
Yeah, so because I'm hearing that the ooze was continuous, and then now that it stopped, and the remainder is just kind of like finishing up wherever it was going to pour down. I'm looking for what was the ooze covering or trying to prevent someone from seeing while it was continuously coming out. Like now that the ooze has stopped flowing, I'm
Mhm.
looking at what is now revealed or what is now obtainable because the ooze has stopped.
Yeah, it doesn't appear as though it was trying to like withhold the vision of anything. It almost seems as though, and you can put this together with Yokizos' dispel magic working, as though as part of whatever was done in here, some kind of magic was used so that the room would weep ooze. Now, for what purpose that serves, I don't think you would know.
Gotcha.
And Yokizos, you begin to examine the bone that Ventus pulled out. And it's difficult to tell because of how the slime and how the oozes have eaten away at the bone. But the age of this bone isn't ancient. It's not as though this has been here for decades or anything like that. Like it's relatively recent.
I asked you, Kizos, is there a way to know if there's been recent reports of missing dwarves?
Well, I wouldn't know that. That'd be a JRU
Oh,
question.
I meant, sorry, Jaru. My bad. The J's got me.
I suppose you could go visit the magistrate's office and the clan of the what was the what were the like the police? Um,
Uh, the ones that are away on that little island in Thornan
The
over there?
Wolverines? Or are you talking about the ones that are
no,
in
yeah,
the
Or
council?
the
yeah, with
jail?
the magistrate's office.
They're
What
like
was
the
that clan?
Eagles,
Yeah, clan of the.
and there's like a tree something.
Yeah, you could go speak to the magistrate's office for any reports of missing people. But Hans, I want to know when was the last time one of these uh group
Get-togethers?
yeah, get-togethers happened.
Oh no, that the get-togethers do not happen often. Perhaps once a year.
And then how much notice are you given before one takes place?
Mm, not well. The, they happen on the same day every year, so
When is that day?
Oh.
it has already occurred this year.
How many
But
years has your basement been like this?
any size, too many, my friend.
I know
Mm,
Too
you're
many.
hurting for cash, but you shouldn't take cash from people that do shit like this, Hans.
Yes, but I need the money. You see.
It's not worth. They're killing people in here. These are
They also give me jelly beans.
wait. They supply you the jelly beans?
And you put together that the jelly beans were given by these
Or the
by this
pavement?
people.
Oh my
you
god.
didn't
Jelly
make
beans and the
those jelly
ooze.
beans.
Yeah,
I
you told us you
lied.
made
I'm
it.
sorry.
You were in a zone of truth, damn you.
You keep lying to us, Hans!
And he kind of taps his brain and says, "It was before the zone of truth."
Oh shit.
But I do apologize. That was very not cool of me. And
Say that again.
the irony of him apologizing about jelly beans in some kind of horrible ritual chamber dripping of ooze is not lost on you all.
Look, Hans. Tell us who did this, or we're gonna find out. And when we find out without your help, then you're gonna get the full punishment of the law.
And when you say that, his eyes get really wide. I don't think you understand. They made me. And he starts to kind of shrink back to the wall.
Spit it out.
Do you want to be a hero?
They made me sign this contract.
Show us his contract.
I don't have it. It was magical.
What's on it?
I'm not allowed to say who participated.
What happens if you tell us?
And he kind of looks at you with big eyes, and he points to the altar.
Like they're gonna show up here and that happens?
Well, you're good for almost a
And-
year, Hans. If you're
I
next.
want. This is a deep cut. I want Jin, Ventus, and Thunder to roll me insight or history checks. It's your pick. Thunder.
Meow.
You get a small brain blast when he says the word contract. And what it makes you think of is a person that you knew quite a long time ago, a warlock by the name of Flynn, and a contract that he was bound to with a demon.
Chera.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, Hans, there's nothing in the contract that can just stipulate you shake your head yes or no at random times, right?
And he kind of looks at you blankly for a second. You watch as the cogs turn, and he kind of begins to nod and says, "Ah, very tricky. Yes, yes."
Were they summoning some kind of demon?
And you can tell he's very proud of this and goes,
Hans, what if I polymorph you into an animal and we communicate as animals? Does that go against the contract?
"I think I would still be speaking it to you.
No, what if I turn you into a bumblebee and you dance it?
I don't know how to dance.
No, you will as a bumblebee.
I'm
It's second
lying. I
nature.
know how to dance. This is a dance hall."
So did these people make you sign the contract, or did this other being make you sign the contract? Oh, okay. Yes, people
And
did.
he kind of pauses. And he kind of tries.
Was it the people?
And he
Dance it out, charades.
Yeah, how many words?
Okay, so it was kind of the demon, maybe.
You spoke
He's-
to the demon?
He's struggling.
You talking like that?
I wanted to participate in merriment. And all of you can
God.
see the scene of Hans just wanting to play with his new guests and then being brought to this chamber, realizing the merriment was not at all what he was anticipating.
Is there any clause in the contract to get you out of it, or is it just you die if you tell?
We could bring you back to life.
This scares me.
I mean, you can come back as anything. Who knows?
I want to come back as Hans.
Oh, you'll
Hans.
definitely come back as Hans.
Hans, was it all dwarfs involved in the ritual?
Yeah.
He dies.
See?
No, Hans, you didn't tell us who it was. You just said of a particular race.
Oh,
Remember, nod your head. Shake
I
your
might as well have died from fright.
Hans,
look,
were there
we
any
can
clan leaders involved in the ritual?
And when you say that, he freezes.
I think that's you.
Let's go down the list.
Was
Stag,
Yeah?
boar,
Wolf?
Was the Wolf Clan there?
Rat clan.
Say
ox,
worm, and I look at Jaryu.
ox. Was ox there? Horse.
Snake.
And he kind of freezes.
Oh.
I am so scared I die.
Okay,
Or
guys,
wait.
it wasn't the Horse Clan, guys. Wink, wink, wink.
And he's like kind of starting to feel himself to make sure he's not dying.
So it was
I think we
not
should
the
continue
horse
this
clan,
conversation
right?
outside of this
And then
layer.
I'm nodding my head like it was not the horse clan, right?
And he's kind of starting to cry a little bit. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Hans, have you noticed? Nothing's happened yet. Nothing's happened. You're
Oh,
fine. You're safe.
I am alive.
Hey,
I
Thunder,
am
give him a
Just
good
feeling-
peeking
drink.
around the corner.
I am fit. When you look around the corner, he looks around the corner.
Look around the corner, Charon's sitting right there.
And when you say, he kind of cocks his head and says, "Who is Charon?"
Oh.
I was just
that
this
was-
It's
demon we used to know.
it's a joke. It's a joke.
Oh,
Yeah, he's chill. He's cool.
You're sure that you didn't mistake any of the
Buddy, buddy.
dwarves for like
Haha.
deranged halflings?
no, quite sure.
Okay, well there goes that theory.
So, the horse clan leader was not involved. Okay. Okay.
Any other leaders?
Okay, so was there anything in your contract about shutting this shit down and not allowing it anymore?
I don't think I'm allowed to say no.
Hey, Thunder,
God
could you
damn
just
it,
mold
Hans.
earth over this whole basement?
Did you even read this contract?
They signed. They gave me so much money.
I look at you. I was like, yeah, I can fill it up 5 foot at a time. But I have my bag of earth bag. I don't know how much dirt's in here, to be honest. I could just.
So, wait, they gave you a
Fill it.
large sum of money and you still have moth-eaten chairs and expired shrimp?
It wasn't that bad.
I am ashamed.
I know you didn't get that shit from the ocean place you were talking about.
He tried to
Definitely
kill
not.
us.
You don't need to lie to us, Hans. We're friends. We're just trying to figure out what happened.
We are friends. Mon frere.
Mon frere.
Monkey.
Wait, Hans, you have a very German accent. Why do you know Monfrere?
Well, I studied abroad in Aboria.
Oh, that must have
Cool
been
for ya.
Okay, so we know that the horse clan leader wasn't involved, and there were several clans represented.
Did he kind of run the show? The horse clan leader who wasn't there?
And he freezes. The runner of the show per se
Hypothetically,
was a woman.
A woman?
a woman dwarf or like a woman, a human.
Does she have a beard?
Okay.
Said
You
they
make
were all
ice
girls.
cream?
A little one. No, they did not bring ice cream.
Oh, okay. Want to make sure Azelus's fucking person wasn't involved.
She did
The
serve him
one out
slime,
of like
though.
3 million people.
She did serve him ooze, though.
That's true.
Did they have
Ooh,
frozen
And when you say
treats?
that,
damn! What the
Hans
fuck
also
are
looks
you?
and is like, oh no. Oh no, you know too much now. Hans is gonna die.
I slapped her.
Hans-
I slapped Hans.
Hans,
I'll wait for Hans to die.
I pulled the party over into like a little huddled meeting. I'm like, hey, just like I don't want Hans to die. He's an idiot, but
No, I don't want him to die either.
yeah. So like, you want to house
No.
him up with Tilly at our place, so maybe he can not be around this place in case something does happen.
No, bring him to the worm. Wait, I think we should send him to the Worm Clan house.
Okay, that's fine as long as he can be somewhat have some eyes on him and be somewhat protected.
They won't suspect him there since none of the worms were involved in this.
Yeah.
Which I'm surprised, honestly, that none of the worms were involved in this.
I feel like we should give him a fake beard so he can kind of blend in. He sticks out a little too much with no beard.
Yeah. No, I agree with that though. We should. I don't want Hans is just an idiot. He didn't know any better.
Hans,
And
you're
Hans
about
is
to
in
go
the
on
huddle.
vacation.
He's in the huddle.
Yeah, and Hans can definitely hear all of this.
Yeah, I like to think that my arm is also around Hans's neck. You know,
Yeah.
like Hans is just.
Hans is supposed to be included.
He's nodding every time y'all say it.
Yes.
Is it idiot?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
mhm.
No,
Hans,
yeah,
you're
and I-
going on vacation.
To more
Where do I
One
get
and
to
two.
go? More
To the Worm
cash.
Clan house.
Oh,
Yeah, I meant
more
the,
cash is disgusting.
This is disgusting.
the Worm Clan
This is
house doesn't
also
have moth-eaten
disgusting.
chairs. That's all I gotta say.
Fine. I
Yes,
pack
the-
my bags.
They're
And I
mosquito-eaten.
suppose we will have to close the forge for the next couple days to everyone's massive disappointment.
I
No,
feel
no
like
one's
Look, Hans,
disappointed.
if
I
we
feel
get
like
this shit sorted out, then the Forge can be back on to having full parties and everything. Like,
Yeah, we can have a party
but
at
you
the
can't.
forge to
The
celebrate.
Diamond Dragons aren't going to have a party here when this kind of shit is going on. And I point at the cave of death.
Yeah, this
I
could
kind
be some
of don't think
serious
we
shit.
should leave
Hans.
Hans alone. I think we should kind of like stay with him as he packs and then kind of hand him off. To be honest, just in case.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with that. But like,
Just
Okay.
just to tell you, the last
Yeah.
person we knew that had a contract with a demon met a pretty gruesome fate, if I recall correctly. So
Why would you tell him that?
And he
Because
kind of
it's
wags his
important.
finger at you and he says, "This is no demon. This is demon god."
Oh yeah, that's less.
Yeah.
And he says it like pretty
Yeah.
defiantly, like you're wrong.
Hans, you're in good shape,
You
buddy.
don't know shit.
Ah, that's gonna be good for you.
all right, never mind.
yeah.
Maybe we don't need to help this guy after all.
Oh wait,
Wait, what if?
Wait, was his name Orcus
what
by
if George-
chance? I don't know. You know, just the
And
name.
he
we're
kinda-
getting.
shakes his head and he says, "Jubilex."
Jubilee.
Ooh.
Now we're
He
getting
sounds-
Dude,
somewhere.
this is like the third demon god. This party is
Wait, are you allowed to
We should
say
actually
the
recruit
demon's
him.
Yeah, I
name?
thought- yeah, I'm surprised you said that.
Alright, we should really
Hans
get you out of
dies.
here, Hans. 'Cause some shit might happen.
Yeah, you need to
Alright.
go into witness protection.
Yeah, let's go into Witness Protection Worm Clan program.
Hey, Thunder,
Hans,
can you bury this cave?
Yeah, I'm just gonna dump my bag out as we walk out. I don't know how much fucking dirt. I put all the dirt that I could in that bag, so I'm just walking out and I'm dumping that shit.
Okay. Yeah.
That's up to you to decide, David.
You start to dump. And I mean, you're in a cave, so it's like there's a lot of dirt available to you, you know? So I'm pretty comfortable with saying that you're at least able to fill it up like halfway or so, you know?
I'll cast
like-
some stuff at the ceiling to blast away chunks to like knock shit down to help them have more dirt.
Sure.
Pack.
Oh, and
wait,
then-
wait. Can we retroactively go back to see if there are any markings or anything on that altar, like distinctive things that I could write down?
I mold earth everything back into the bag as we walk back in.
The altar is now in the
No.
shape of Mothra.
Because Jaryu, you did inspect the altar previously. And no really distinct. I mean, it appears to you, Jaryu, as someone that has experience in altars, you know, that this is pretty. I can't think of the right word. Not fancy.
It's also currently in the shape of Mothra now.
Yeah, I was just, guys, I was hoping to get something that we could just put in front of the horse clan leader. Just, like a little howdy do.
Wink.
Is
Yeah, a little wink,
is
wink.
there a book
Can we get a
there
bottle of
in
ooze?
this picture? I know this picture's not.
No book there. No book there.
Oh, guys, what did he say the demon's name was one more time?
Jubilex.
Jubilek.
Jubilex?
We could scoop up some of this ooze
Yeah.
and plop that down on the table and be like, dude, we found the craziest thing.
It's acidic
Crazy.
though. Be careful.
Hey,
I don't
but-
know.
No, fuck.
But it has to be after I get the leather work done, because they're the only ones that do leather work. After we get my leather, then we do this.
Don't piss them off.
Yeah, don't piss them off.
They're our next meeting and yeah.
Wait, whiskers was up.
Okay,
Ooze.
and y'all, yeah, Thunder. I would say that you like halfway are able to bury it.
Okay.
Like at least enough to where like obviously something happened. Like you can't access the altar anymore, kind of deal.
Mhm.
But you can still access the basement to somewhat to a degree.
Okay.
And
Any more dirt now?
yeah, and you need more. You do not have dirt.
I have no
Um,
dirt now.
And the group of you go to the top of the forge and watch as Hans packs up his bags. And I think this is a good spot for us to end our session.
Don't worry, Hans.
No.
At some point, we'll just renovate the basement to be an actual usable party space.
And he
Should
likes
be.
that.
It should be. Basement party?
Nice.
Well, that was a lot more
Yeah, I wasn't
intense
expecting
than I
that.
thought the
Yeah,
nefarious
that's where that was
origin.
going.
I thought
Yeah.
some guys just like said some racial things in the button.
Yeah, I thought it was like
Yeah. I thought, yeah, it was like a sex trafficking ring or something.
I thought it was gonna be like a crime syndicate or something down there.
I suppose it kind of is.
Well, at least
Yeah,
we
we
get to
don't,
know
we
it's
don't know yet.
yearly.
We don't know what Jublex does.
True.
Yeah, none of us would know anything about Jubilex.
No, that's not even worth checking.
Oh yeah.
Oh
You
yeah,
don't know.
Jubilex 5e. Oh, he's real.
I think
He's real.
Oh
Thunder
shit, he's the
knows
ooze
something.
demon.
Yep.
The demon
He's
lord
the-
of oozes.
Oh, what is he doing in Von Rieg?
Yep. He's a real dude.
That's awesome.
GG's,
Wait, dude, he's
guys.
actually
Good
looking
sesh.
badass.
Yeah,
that
good
was
job,
awesome.
guys.
That was good.